Welcome, Binge Monks! In this video, we will cover the 5 most thrilling and hottest episodes from Harley Quinn the animated series, which is by far DC's craziest and most happening animated show ever. Let's explore funny stories like Harley's quest to find the fitting nemesis, a few dark ones that show her girlfriend dying in her arms, and others where she made love to her colleague. Let's begin, shall we? Number 1. Finding Mr. Right Season 1 Episode 4. After assembling a crew, Harley finds out that her successful heists are not getting any media coverage because their focus is on the juicy enmity that Batman and Joker share, which means that she's nowhere close to becoming the supervillain she aims to be. Despite Poison Ivy's advice to stay low, Harley wants fame and recognition, and she figures that the only way to do this is through finding her Mr. Right, her nemesis. Things started getting weird and obnoxiously hilarious as Harley's crew put up an online page, but the results were disappointing. So, Clayface brought in his tech junkie friend King Shark, who added the right keywords. Yet, all Harley got was a nemesis match with a part-time superhero named Tommy Tomorrow, but he was looking for something casual and someone to fight with on weekends.
Bats will be our nemesis.
I don't know.
Unlikely.
Yes.
With no luck, Harley decided to steal Batman from Joker to make him her own nemesis. She went ahead and stole the Batmobile, hoping that he'd show up and she'd fight him. Unfortunately for her, Batman didn't have time for such petty crimes, and he sent Robin instead. Harley treated Robin like a 12-year-old should be treated and didn't bother fighting him. However, Robin claimed to the media about a fake fight that he and Harley had and how she was his new nemesis. The media loved the story, and Lois Lane wrote a story mocking Harley about her choice of little kids as a nemesis. According to Lois, Harley had pulled the women's supervillain movement back by decades. A frustrated Harley kidnapped Lois, hoping to get Superman as her brand new high-profile nemesis, but he got Robin to deal with her and left. Even Lois didn't give a rat's ass worth of concern to Harley's threats. Meanwhile, Robin became the poster boy of media coverage, and Harley was getting increasingly pissed at this. She decided to abduct Robin and have King Shark scare him while media would stay in the background covering the scene as Robin would gloat about his lies. The embarrassment made Robin's nose bleed, and King Shark became crazed, forcing Batman to arrive and kick King Shark's ass. But Joker was missing the media coverage because Batman was involved with Harley and Poison Ivy, who had come to save Harley from Batman. Joker arrived and abducted Robin, only for Batman to throw Harley on Ivy and pursue Robin.
I'm his, he's mine, I mean we're together.
Number 2. Devil's Snare, Season 1 Episode 12. Because Scarecrow poisoned Gotham's water supply with Poison Ivy's pheromones, all the trees of Gotham Central Park became violent and mobile. Batman left to deal with Joker and Scarecrow, who were trying to push people towards the carnivorous trees. Meanwhile, Harley and her crew struggled to keep the trees from slaughtering humans but were confronted by members of the Justice League, who believed that the whole ecological mess was Harley's doing. Superman wanted to send them to the Phantom Zone, but Ivy made Wonder Woman use the lasso of truth to reveal to the Leaguers that Harley and her crew were innocent. It turned out that it was the evil Queen of Fables behind the chaos. She sucked the Leaguers into her book and sent Harley and others to a sky-high castle on a giant beanstalk. Here they get confronted by a giant but are saved when Poison Ivy manages to call in Kite Man so that he could fly them down below. Interestingly, in this episode, Harley gets horrified, or shall we say disgusted, by the knowledge that Ivy and Kite Man are dating. Once back on the ground, Harley decided to blow up the Legion of Doom headquarters as a solution to end the tree menace. She commandeered Gordon's tank and took it to the Legion of Doom, but before she could blow it up, Joker destroyed the building and claimed his rule over Gotham. Meanwhile, Poison Ivy drank the pheromone-enriched water and turned into her giant self before taking on the monstrous trees. She went against her strongest belief of saving the ecosystem to destroy several trees. Realizing that Harley was alive, he sent Queen of Fables to kill her for good. The giant grandmother wolf of Queen of Fables pinned Harley down, but King Shark came to the rescue.
In between a wolf and a shark. It's a shark.
After this, Harley wore the wolf skin to sneak up to Queen of Fables and, with a swing of her bat, decapitated the Queen of Fables. As one of the last trees attacked Harley, Poison Ivy saved her, and the two of them shared an intimate, emotional moment, but it was short-lived because Joker pierced Giant Ivy's chest with a flagpole from his new tower. Ivy shrunk to her human size and apparently died in Harley's arms, who expressed her helplessness and anger by letting out a scream. This roller coaster of an episode was filled with great action sequences, a cameo of Justice League, some fantastic fantasy imagery, but it was most important because of Poison Ivy's apparent death at the hands of Joker, which made Harley realize how messed up Joker was, and the loss was the final nail in the coffin of Harley's feelings for Joker. Naturally, the loss of her fallen friend helped shape Harley's character in future episodes. Number 3. The Final Joke Season 1 Episode 13.
Of all the souls I have met on my journeys, hers was the most human.
Harley's crew gathered in Gotham's Central Park to bury their fallen supervillain. While Kite Man and Harley couldn't gather the courage to speak, Clayface gave a touching eulogy from Star Trek. An angry and distraught Harley then met with Batman asking his help to infiltrate Joker's tower. He reluctantly agreed with her plan, according to which Clayface was to impersonate Batman while the real Batman would sneak into Joker's tower. However, Clayface started singing in front of Joker, which gave him away. Joker knocked Batman out with gas, abducted Harley's crew, and put up a bounty on Harley Quinn's head. Following this, Joker began torturing his prisoners in novel ways, like wearing a necklace out of King Shark's teeth and turning Batman into a cuckoo bird. And as for Gotham itself, he had turned it into a police state. But eventually, Joker became bored of subjecting his victims to torture and wished to kill Harley's crew. Meanwhile, Harley decided to confront Joker once and for all, but before going to Joker's tower, she visited Ivy's grave, where she shed a tear, which revived Poison Ivy. Back at Joker's tower, Harley showed up with a suicide vest and threatened to blow herself along with Joker if he didn't release his crew. Joker agreed on the condition that she wore her old costume. She reluctantly did his bidding, and he released them, but a fight ensued between them when Joker started lying about how he missed her and how she completes him. The two of them gave each other identical stab wounds, and after an initial stalemate, Joker overpowered Harley, and she asked him to finish her off already. However, Joker revealed that he never wanted to kill her because that would haunt him forever. Alternatively, he wished to throw Harley in a vat of acid, which would relieve her of her memories as Harley and remove the existence of Harley Quinn. As he tried to throw her into the vat, Harley noticed vines from Poison Ivy growing inside. She jumped into the vat, only to be caught by the vines. Ivy then threw Joker into the vat, but he managed to activate the self-destruct device, which not only demolished Joker's tower but also brought about an 8.6 magnitude earthquake. In the end, Batman was missing, Joker was no longer ruling Gotham, but then there was nothing left of Gotham to rule. Number 4. All the Best Inmates Have Daddy Issues, Season 2 Episode 6. In the previous entry, we saw how Joker wanted to throw Harley into the vat to erase her memories, however, Poison Ivy arrived and threw Joker instead. This episode serves as a continuation of that story arc and answers what happened to Joker after falling in the vat. At Noonan's bar, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy contemplate things when Harley notices Joker working as a bartender. While Harley believes that it was Joker, Ivy differs. But Joker seems to act strangely. He talks all about his girlfriend and her kids, whom he treats as his own. Harley believes that Joker has forgotten his past, but Ivy points out that people never really change who they are.
You are who you are at your core, now and forever. You're wrong, and I can prove it.
To prove that people can change, Harley walks down memory lane and reminds Ivy about their first meeting in Arkham Asylum, when Harley used to be Dr. Harleen Quinzel. As a psychiatrist, Harleen was hired by Gordon and Harvey Dent to crack Joker, and make him provide information about the location of his newly placed bombs. Although Joker tries to kill her, she acrobats her way out of it and even gets charmed by the clown prince of evil. Because of her failure, Batman follows the bad cop routine, but even he fails. Naturally, Harley takes another shot at the good cop routine, and this time, Joker tells her about his abusive father, who also killed his ferret. These sad and depressing stories were actually made up and copied from Ivy's life.
Understand. Charles, that was my story. I told it in group therapy. Joker probably just stole it and weirdly changed it into a ferret.
What? I spent so much money on ferret paraphernalia over the years.
But Harleen Quinzel didn't know this back then and played off at Joker opening up to her. In fact, she made a deal with him. He told her that the bomb was at the heart of Little Italy, and in return, he was to be allowed to eat dinner at the cafeteria that night. Batman and Gordon left at the Statue of Little Italy but found no bombs there. In reality, Little Italy was the nickname of Arkham's cook. The poor Italian exploded, and so did Arkham's walls. Joker abducted Harleen and escaped Arkham, only to be captured by Poison Ivy. Coming back to the present, Harley and Ivy hadn't yet reached a conclusion about Joker and decided to use Dr. Psycho to look into Joker's mind. It turned out that Joker had indeed turned into a whole different person who didn't remember anything from the past. As Harley and Ivy left the bar, they got kidnapped by Harvey Dent, who by now had turned into Two-Face. Number 5. Lovers Quarrel, Season 2 Episode 12.
I command you to kill Harley Quinn!
And I command you to S my V.
S my V.
The penultimate episode of the show's last season is among the best episodes of the series, courtesy of the meaningful, clever, and exciting crossover of the various story arcs and the characters. There's plenty of action in it and a bit of something for everyone. The episode starts with Poison Ivy under the mind control of Dr. Psycho, who was making Ivy kill Harley Quinn on Darkseid's orders. While Harley was trying to dodge fatal attacks from the love of her life, the Justice League was fighting the Parademons. There are some high-octane yet hilarious action sequences between the Justice League and the Parademons, while in the background, Harley and Kite Man struggle to release Ivy from Dr. Psycho's mind control. They found a solution when Cyborgman designed earplugs that could shield people from Dr. Psycho's powers. However, getting Harley to where it was not going to be easy. The Justice League members were kept busy by the mind-controlled crew of Harley Quinn, while she herself was abducted by Ivy and brought to Dr. Psycho and Darkseid. In a last-ditch attempt, Kite Man tried to break Psycho's influence by kissing Ivy, but that went in vain. Next thing we know, Harley gave Ivy the kiss of love, which strangely worked. After this, she gave Ivy Cyborgman's earplugs, and she was finally free of Psycho's control. In the end, Darkseid left Earth, claiming that Harley was a formidable opponent, and pledged to come another day to terraform Earth. On the other hand, Psycho pulled his final evil stint by exposing to entire Gotham that Harley and Ivy had shared the bed and made out in the past. DC's tempting but crazy anti-hero Harley Quinn became so famous that she got her own animated series. With 2 hilarious seasons, fans are begging the executives to give them a third. Let's keep our fingers crossed. That was all in this video, and if you wish to discover more of these, please like and subscribe. It may be a tiny click from you, but we will be forever grateful.